Yeah, hi guys, I'm Tim Hughes and I'm going to show you the Flow2 Healthy Back program. So we're going to start with a series of 10 stretches. One of the main emphasis of the stretches is to get stretched through your chest and also to loosen up through the back. So the first one I'm going to show you is actually two positions. It's a pec stretch. Put your elbow out at 90 degrees and just rotate away. You should feel the stretch straight through the chest here. Hold this one for 20 seconds. I won't do the full hold just to save a bit of time. The second position, which not many people do, is move up 45 degrees. Make sure your elbows hook behind the pillar and just move forward and down. So I should feel the stretch right down through here. Good stretch. Okay, so hold that for 20 seconds. Turn around to the other side. So rotate away. Turn, should feel the stretch again in the chest. Hold for 20 seconds. Then move into the second position and move forward and down. Up 45 degrees with the elbow. Okay, for the second one. Okay, the second one is going to be a lat stretch. So just hold on to a pillar, a post or somebody and just rock gently from side to side. You should feel the stretch all the way down through the lats and through into the back. So just rock through that for 20 seconds. And then we'll get into our third one, which is a toe touch. So find a bit of space for his. Just reach down towards your toes. So from the side, try and keep your legs as straight as possible. They shouldn't be locked, so you don't want them locked out. Just a slight bend, reach down. Now if you can't reach down to the ground, if you just come up to here, what you can do is bend the knees, put your fingers under your toes, and then slowly straighten up through your legs to get that stretch. Just go nice and gently with it. Okay, that's number 3. So I'm just checking on my little board behind Ray, who's filming this. Okay, we're getting down to the ground here for some ground stretches. So downward dog. A large part of figuring out what's going on with this lumbar curve. We want to maintain this lumbar curve. A big part of that is to get flexibility through the hips. So as you tilt your hips forward and back, this affects the position here in your back. So to make this lumbar curve disappear and stretch up, push up in this cat stretch, then drop down into your lower range just here and you find that lumbar curve. A neutral lumbar will be about here, which we'll get into with the exercises. But for the moment we're just going to stretch through from one range all the way to the other. So just do this for around 20 seconds. And it just frees up through the hips. Okay, what have we got? We have kneeling hip flexor, heeling hip flexor. So from here again, with the hips, tuck them under, so you should feel a stretch. These are your hip flexors just at the top of the leg, so you should feel a stretch just there. And we're going to do a bit of a full floral tribute with this one. We're going to put the arms up, go straight over to the side, should feel that stretch down the side here, and then rotate to look over your opposite shoulder. So that's a good way of getting a further stretch. Swap sides, tuck the hips under, feel the stretch here, arms straight up. This sequence is important, so straight over the side first, and then rotate to look over the shoulder. So that rotation is the last thing that happens. So hold that for 20 seconds. And then from here, we'll come down into a 90-90. So 90 degrees at the front, 90 degrees at the groin, 90 degrees at the second knee. And this is going to be stretching out through your glutes. Just gently drop down outside your front knee and then slowly push in towards the center. So you'll know when to stop. You should feel the stretch through your right glute in this case. Hold for 20 seconds and we'll swap sides. Again, get your 90 degrees here, here and here. Drop down just outside your front knee, nice and gently. Once you've gone as far as you can, then slowly push in towards the center. Hold for 20 seconds. So gravity is doing all the hard work. You don't have to work to hold these stretches. Just relax into them and breathe deeply. Okay, from here, we go straight into a hurdler stretch. So this is targeting the hamstrings. Really good stretch. All of these stretches are really good for anyone who sits down for large periods of their day, and just reach forward towards your toes. if you're like me and most other guys who've got wooden hamstrings, you don't have to stretch too far before you get a bit of a stretch. Hold for 20 seconds, swap sides. Try and bring this other knee back. Depending on how your flexibility is, the further back you get there, you get a bit of a stretch into your groin and adductors at the same time. And just reach forward towards your foot. Keep the toes pointed back towards you. Again, hold that one for 20 seconds. And that's the floor stretches. So from here, we've got 3 dynamic stretches to finish off. So, again, stretching through the chest, just slight angles as you put your arms out to one side then the other, stretching out through your chest, sort of just 10 reps for the whole thing. And we've got 2 other dynamic ones. Dynamic exercises basically, or dynamic stretch, is anything with constant movement. And so these high kicks are again focused for the hamstrings, and they'll work up through your posterior chain. Your posterior chain, basically all the muscles that you can see as you look at someone from behind. So just go for 5 each side, kicking up just as high as your leg will go. Don't force it any higher than it should. Get 5 each side. I'm not even pretending to count accurately here, as my clients will attest. Bowler stretch, last one. Reach in and extend back. So again, focusing on these chest muscles and just loosening up through the inside of the shoulder. Just go for 5 each side. And that should take you about 5 minutes. If you've counted everything accurately, and you've done 30 seconds, sorry, holding the stretches for 20 seconds, and then we can move into the exercises. Let's get into them. Okay, here we go for the exercise component for our healthy back routine. So the first one, and the important part of this is to maintain this neutral lumbar, this shallow curve in your lower back. So from here, you can start by just doing a little bit of 3 amigos. Let the hips come back, and then drop down to this position here. Pull your navel in, get the abs switched on, switch the core on. And simply from here, it's just a bent over row. So just doing with body weight, it's a good easy way to start it. As you get more confident with this and stronger, what you need to do is start adding light weights and just build up slowly. So go for 10 reps of the bent over row, and then we've got a prisoner squat. So we've got 7 exercises in all, and we'll repeat it twice. So it should come down, back up for 10 reps. So this should take around 2.5 minutes, and then you repeat it once more to get your 5 minutes of exercise in. So 10 reps of that one there. We have a scat or serratus anterior push-up. 2 options. You can go from your knees or from your toes for this one. Whichever one you choose, keep a good straight line from hips, shoulders and knees. So from here it's simply drop down, push back up. That's all we're doing. So the elbows don't bend, and we're just working through whichever version is right for you. Keep it controlled, don't let the head drop down, and these muscles will help keep your back in a nice strong position. Okay, from those ones we go back into a Superman. So from here, again, just find your lumbar curve, neutral lumbar, and from here send out opposite leg and arm. Try and keep your hips and shoulders square onto the ground. And try not to rush through this. Send your arm out at a slight angle and point your thumb up towards the ceiling. And your leg should just go to horizontal. You don't want it any higher, just horizontal. So 5 of these each side. And then we come down to prone Superman. Go 1, 2, 3, up to 10. Just keep looking down towards the ground. Just a small movement, not too much with this. If you feel you're overworking through your lower back, then just relax through your glutes a little bit and just concentrate on the upper body. Okay, from here we go into a prone cobra. Again, looking straight down. Point the thumbs up towards the ceiling. And you're keeping your head in a neutral position. So if you were to do this, you'd be overextending. Whereas this is a much better position. And just squeeze those shoulders down and back. Some people get confused by turning in this way whereas we want to increase this extended position through the back. So rotate the shoulders out and hold this for a count of 10. Okay, from there we come back up into a prisoner squat. So having your hands behind your head helps work through the back a little bit more. Just drop down into the squat and squeeze back up. So from the side, you should still have that lumbar curve at the lower position of the squat. Drive back up. 7 exercises, repeat that twice, should give you 5 minutes.